The governor of Illinois has written to President Biden to say the federal government's lack of intervention and coordination at the border has created an untenable situation for Illinois. Does anybody outside of the White House think the immigration policy is working?
So here's what I can tell you. I just mentioned that the president requested $4 billion for supplemental funding to address what we're seeing at the border, right? And to manage what is happening currently at the southwest border more specifically. And Republicans continue to block us.
They just think it's money. It's not a matter of money.
And the law.
It's policy.
Got to change the law.
Only 62% of this country, only 62% disapprove of the president's immigration policy. That is all of it. And by saying I had a plan when I walked into office and no one took us up on it, do you ever talk about it? Have you given a speech on it? Have you printed it? Have you shown that it's comprehensive? All you're talking about predominantly is giving the people who came here illegally a path to citizenship.
Well, they created this crisis. They ignored it. You had Abbott down in Texas begging for more help, telling them to close the border. And then he had this grand idea to send some of these individuals, because Texas can't handle it all, to these Democratic cities. And then all of a sudden, those Democratic leaders start waking up and they say, whoa, this is happening here. We can't afford this. We don't know who these individuals are. And they could be dangerous. We don't have the money to house them.
Right.
And we can barely take care of the people who live in New York, much less people who are here illegally. Then all of a sudden they sound the alarm. Now they're going down to the border and doing something about it.
Right.
Well, all these Democratic leaders were the ones who allowed it to happen for the last 3 years, and they're the reasons we have this crisis.
And right here in New York is now a border state. But, because there are so many people who are coming in. But so is Texas. And that is where Lawrence is all morning. And you've got a special guest who looks familiar.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's a guest. He's a part of the Fox and Friends family. Will Kane, folks.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Will. Good to have you.
Well, I thought of you when we saw the mascot, the Cowboys mascot, because that's your team.
Right, and that's what he does on weekends.
That's right.
Rowdy's here this morning. This is very, very Dallas. But, it would be a shame if we didn't mention that the Texas Rangers advanced from the wild card division of the playoffs yesterday on to the ALDS.
Yeah. Nice. There you go. He's still not talking. Just clapping. All right, guys, so what are folks talking about out there?
Well, they're definitely talking about the border and how it's impacting communities. I was just thinking about it. We have a historic crisis at the border, and the Democrats are proposing more visas, more places for them to stay. It just seems like they're creating more of a magnet for the folks to come here instead of clogging up the big hole that they created, Will, with their policies.
Yeah, Steve, Brian, Ainsley, it's amazing to see these Democratic mayors across the country begin to change their tune on immigration. So you can come to only one of two conclusions. A major level, I'm talking a major level of incompetence for the past several years that resulted in these policies being producing something that these mayors are all of a sudden waking up to. This is untenable. Or those not in on the plan, because I have trouble accepting the fact that the incompetence was at that level. Mm-hmm. So you execute a plan, you open the borders, you allow these people to come in illegally, and now you're looking at the repercussions. I actually think it's a product of intentionality, not
100%.
incompetence.
So what do the people think? Let's go talk with some folks. How y'all doing? All right, Nate. So, ma'am, we got two parties that have had their opportunity to handle the border. You had Donald Trump that handled the border, and now you got the Biden administration. Which party is more fit to handle the border?
Definitely Donald Trump, because I'm from down there. And I've seen those walls, those pieces of walls that they just let deteriorate.
How did it make you feel?
It's sickening. It was my money, my taxpayer money, and they're just letting it sit and not doing anything. And 20 miles of border wall, give me a break. What is that going to do? They'll just go around it.
What do you think, man?
I feel the same way, but I heard he already sold the border wall, didn't he?
Some of those pieces
already. Now he's doing it again. I hate that man.
Thank y'all so much. I'm going to send it over to Will Kane.
Hey, all right. Thank you, Lawrence. You know what I want to talk about? We're talking about the chaos at the border. Everyone I talk to in my life talks about the chaos of the coming 12 months. What's going to happen the next 12, 16 months? I'm here with Cage and David. I'm going to put you on the spot, Cage. We got the economy. We got an incredible political election. What do you see is going to be the end result of the next 12 months? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think the prediction is pretty simple. I think you're seeing a populist movement, and I think people are tired of this globalist agenda by the elites in Washington. I think you're going to see a Donald Trump, Kristi Noem ticket, and they're going to bring it home at the end of the day. And I think they're going to lock down the southern border, and I think the economy is going to get back under control when we have lower taxes and we have a promotion of business across the country.